When you talk to royalty, you have to say the full name.
Oh,
she is royalty, but at the
That's what I'm
same
saying.
time,
You get
but
the
at
full
the same
name.
time, for this generation that don't know her, it's Jully.
I think they talked about me.
You get what I mean?
They talked about me.
Hey,
Tell me if you left a spite. Tell me if you're gonna hide when I tell you something that you didn't realize. I need to know. I need to know if you're just running mouth, baby. Need you to show. Can you grow? Do you go crazy when you're not with your lady? Do you start acting shady? Do you stop when you know you went too far? When you kick me out the car? When your temper starts to turn, baby?
Woo! Oh my God!
But everybody has to say "Been afraid" after me. It goes like this.
Been afraid.
Everybody.
Been afraid. You can tell me everything.
Here comes again.
You can say when you're ashamed.
You ready?
Hey,
Here
I don't
comes.
care, baby. Been afraid.
Everybody.
Me not afraid.
You can tell me everything. You can tell me everything. You can tell me all the plays. You can tell me all the schemes. Baby, I don't know what you like.
Don't leave me hanging.
If you don't tell me, then I don't know. You wanna know, baby? I don't know.
drink this.
You want me open up? Then open up back to me. And I'll show
Jully Black, can you take a shot of this?
Actually,
What
I
if
just
it's
need
Prosecco?
honesty.
A shot of tequila, ma'am. No. Yeah, you saw it here first. Said no twice.
Prosecco. We're gonna do a
she'll take a shot of that. She
I'll
said.
do a date. I need to pour my own thing. That's not royalty.
No, that's not. Excuse me. Pour
Been
for the
afraid.
first
You doing a shot?
Been afraid.
Of the Prosecco, sir.
Tell me everything. You can say when you're ashamed. I don't care, baby.
Hold on.
Been afraid.
Been afraid. What's that phrase? Did I say your
Tell me
part?
everything. You can tell me everything. You can
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Julie, I know before he does the intro,
Cheers,
can I just
cheers,
ask this
cheers.
question before you do the intro?
Cheers.
You
Julie.
flip up, you're good.
Cheers. All of us cheers
First
again.
off, all the cameras on.
First
you're
off,
missing good stuff.
do you guys see this? I'm taking a shot with Jully Black right
Oh,
now.
oh.
Do you guys see
Come
this?
on.
Julie, I have a.
Prosecco, okay? The one thing that doesn't mess up my voice, so I'll do the Prosecco. That's the only reason I like
Go
Prosecco.
ahead, baby.
Yeah?
So while you're taking your shot, I have a question.
Okay.
What was the vibe and the energy like for this record right here? What inspired you to create this record? Because right here, I could tell like you were in the booth. I can feel like you were just vibing, just enjoying it. Like what was it like?
You know what? Okay. So the whole "Men Afraid," people think that it's about like, street stuff or, other things. But it's really telling my ex-boo, ended up being an ex, that you could tell me anything. Like, communicate with me. Like, I'd rather know than not know.
Oh, that's big right there.
Right? Give
That
me
is
the
big.
option instead of hide and chuck and jive. Baby, I don't know what you like.
Ooh.
If you don't tell me, then I don't know.
Ooh.
You want to know, baby, I don't know.
Ooh.
You want me open up. Then open up back to me and I'll show you every fact of me factually. And it goes on, right? So that's the whole thing.
Man, are you listening?
Tell me the things.
I love that.
Men Afraid.
Be open, be honest.
Be open and honest.
Vulnerability.
Keep it a buck from the jump. That's
Right.
basically what it is. Let me know what it is so I know how to move accordingly. That's all that
That's
is.
what my girl wants me to do. She wants me to be vulnerable.
Yeah, so what?
On a button, man. We know
You know what?
Chantier
I'm
around
done.
here.
I'm done this.
Toxic masculinity right here. That's it.
Right? Like, put your
Right
face
there in your
beside
face.
The dictionary definition. With all them teeth.
You know what's so funny? But he's lying though. He's lying. He is such a marshmallow.
I cry away from her, okay? I cry in my car.
That is a lie. You're on her lap, bro.
You cried?
Ooh,
Oh no.
damn.
Glory.
You know what? Can we get back to that question?
Okay.
Should I do the intro?
I'd love
Yeah,
for
go
you to do
ahead,
the
go
intro.
ahead, go ahead.
Depend on a time schedule.
Welcome to another episode of Steady Mobbin Podcast.
CBC.
Episode
CBC.
522. We have a special guest in the building.
Funny.
Recently, this guest was attacked by a segment of the population that I am afraid and ashamed to call Canadian. A segment of the population whose ideologies eat at the fabric of all that is good within our society. Regardless of that, the mass majority of us, we love, we celebrate, and we cherish you.
Thank you.
This guest spoke consciousness and opened up the minds of millions of people. She's a hero, She gave a voice to the voiceless. And her act of courage will go down in the Canadian history books of a symbol that will last forever
We are not worthy.
in the pursuit of racial equality. She embodied the essence of Viola Desmond, Rosa Parks,
Get to
and
bed.
anyone that stood for truth. Make some noise for hip-hop royalty, the queen of R&B, and probably the fittest person on social media.
Jeez!
Thank you for that.
Miss
Jeez! Jeez! Jeez!
Stand up. You
Jeez! Jeez! Jeez!
Wow, I'm feeling very, very emotional. Wow.
Oh yes.
Wow, thank
Listen, emotional. I was emotional as a young black woman seeing, first off at the All-Star game, just to look and to hear the voice of Jully Black singing our national anthem the way that you did.
Yeah.
Allowed me to know that at the end of the day that a young black woman like me or a young woman like me can someday be like that.
Yeah.
And you spoke your truth. You went up there, you sang with so much courage and so much energy, and you basically sang for all of us because it took a lot of courage and a lot of just going up there and being that woman that you were. I thank you so much on behalf of all the young women in Toronto and all the black women that strive for greatness. I thank you because you embody that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a tissue nearby. 'Cause I have quite the sauce.
Yo, Stewie got to everything.
So-
Stewie is the podcast whisperer.
Before he starts,
Waterfront Studios. He probably got something going on. He has something.
Before he starts, so I was watching.
Okay, so you're just gonna take over this whole? Okay,
No, because it's like
That's
a
what we
woman
do
thing.
out here,
It's
bro.
like a-
No.
I'm sorry, it's like a woman thing. Like,
Black
you
girl
understand what I
magic.
mean?
Black girl magic. Let it go.
Okay.
It was okay. I'm gonna keep a buck. Like I have no filter, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I seen you drop a tear that day, that they stood there and they put, I don't want to
Blanket.
mix the black around you, and I seen the teardrop from your eye. I didn't know. I felt like I was standing there with you, alongside you, because it was like you were crying. Not I felt. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It was like it's about time. We finally have a voice. You opened that door that a lot of us kept closed for a long time. A lot of people are afraid to touch on things that you touched on, and within that. And you touched on so much in just the national anthem. You changed the narrative for us as black women, as indigenous people in general. They don't get the recognition that they deserve, and you allowed that to be recognized on a big platform that you knew millions and millions of people would tune in. You had the opportunity of just singing it the regular way or singing it your way. And sister, I'm telling you right now, has given us the confidence now as women, young black women, to go out there and do whatever we want. And
Shake the room.
And change whatever
Shake the
narrative. And also kick down those doors that have been locked for years. So I know that you were. I don't know what you were crying for, but I felt like it was about time. It was like a relief, like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders, and not only for you but for us. So
Right.
I feel you. So what were you feeling in that moment when you
The blanket ceremony?
Yeah, the blanket ceremony.
I was baptized as a kid, Christian faith. I was like a teenager, and I was always looking for a feeling. What does God feel like, even in my adult life? And so, when that blanket, it was very, very spiritual. When they put that blanket on me, it was like daggers coming out of me. It was generational healing. It was baptismal. It was very much a shedding, and also very much like the little girl Julie, like Julianne and Dara Gordon from 20 Yellowstone Street, Jane and Finch. Unit 122, M3N1, M5, like that little girl, 633, 2596. Remember my first phone number? It was like, you matter. That's what it was, them letting me know and me letting me know, because I also said it to National Chief that had I been still bound by religion, I would have turned down the ceremony, because it would have came from me. It would have been like, well, how I was raised, not even how my mom raised me, like how the church, raised us. It was like, it would be like, what is that? Is
really?
that voodoo? Is that...
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? What type of hold up bird feather? Hold up.
Demons.
No, for real. Hold up
no.
things. Then I put blanket over you. They're burning things.
It's true. Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So, but it was such a, because the day before we hung out, that's the part that everyone else didn't see.
Oh.
So we had dinner and the elders spoke and they, there's appreciation versus appropriation and them letting me know that truth telling is the way. And so it was really still I bundle up under that blanket. I sleep under that blanket every night.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
When did you you grew up in Canada, you're Jamaican descendants, your family came from Jamaica. At what point did you realize, hey, the natives have the short end of the stick in this country? When did you realize that?
Probably, I don't know, 2019. I know nothing about indigenous history. Nothing.
I like that. I like the realness of that.
They didn't teach us anything in school.
Facts.
Right. I had friends who are indigenous but present as white. So they were also living in fear to even be who they are. Even in the music business, it's David Strickland. He used to go by Gordo. Now he's Dave Strickland. Yeah. A producer, and he talks about this all the time, so he wouldn't mind me saying this, and he's decided, he's like, I'm indigenous, but he's also going through the plight of people in New Brunswick. There was something with them. There's some drama around them not allowing them to be actually claim indigenous status.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like, what is really going on? And it let me realize, like, as a black person, I don't think I will live to see the day where I'm getting some sort of reparations for slavery. Slavery's so far away from me. Especially being a Jamaican descendant. I'm like, okay, back to Jamaica. Okay, but then where are we going back to from there?
To the British.
You know what I mean? For real. So I'm like, but there are people, humankind right now, humankind, that don't have clean drinking water.
Yeah.
In our very country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what can I do to be a part of that, change?
I watched the All-Star game. I saw your anthem live. And I remember I was with my girl, and I'm like, I looked at her, did she just say on? And like, it really, I'm processing what you said, and I'm like, hold on. And then I paused, and I'm like, oh my God. She said on native. And I'm like, yeah, Twitter's about to go crazy over this shit.
4chan's going nuts.
And I'm like, in my head, good for you. So can you just take us briefly, like, to that night? Like, what was that pre-planned? Was that on the spot? Was that something you kind of went over in your head?
Yeah. It was pre-planned like a few days before. Wasn't a whole long type of premeditated. Didn't tell a lot of people. Didn't want to be convinced not to. Spoke to a couple indigenous friends. Actually, I was rehearsing it because I wanted my version to be like the Whitney. Like the best.
Yeah.
So
Which
that
it was.
objective number one.
Yeah.
How do I put soul into this anthem without, totally changing the melody too much? Because there's been other anthem singers to do some piece of bacchanal, some sort of bacchanal remix that, without naming names. You can cut to it if you want. Canadian
I know exactly
Steven, that, like, I was like, what am I saying? Lord Jesus, I couldn't even follow along. So I'm like, okay, Julie.
Wow.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? So that was rule number one for me. Like, Julie, take care of your voice. I wasn't drinking. I was like, but then we found Prosecco.
We want you on the podcast, Prosecco.
All right, hello.
Yo, hold on. So you were in Jamaica last weekend?
Yeah.
That's how you turn it up, and you're not turning up with us right now.
Right, yeah. And I wouldn't turn up anyway. I'm not really I'm not a turn up person.
All right.
But next time, though, if
Yes,
you want,
ma'am.
next time you should bring Saint Germain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Saint Germain with some ginger ale.
So you like that? You like that liqueur shit?
Yeah.
That's
Moscato.
you. That's you.
Yeah, I'm sweet.
All right. I saw it. I'm like, really? That's what she likes?
Moscato, Saint Germain.
That's interesting.
Can we get back to the story?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I can't with this guy.
We miss you. We miss you. We miss you. But yeah, please, Julie Black. Hold on. Hold on. Before Julie Black, he has the Michael B. Jordans on.
What is
No,
that?
he doesn't. He doesn't have
He has the Michael B.
I have
Jordans
the
on.
SpongeBob's on.
He has the
SpongeBob's on. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry,
That's
go
all.
ahead.
Listen, I love it. Turn up. Turn up.
AKA do you.
Okay,
We're
so
in Mississauga, but I'm from the hood.
it was
Just-
premeditated.
Yo,
Finch.
hey, yo.
Spoke to a couple of friends,
Yeah.
and
So I recorded it on voice note, and spoke to one Indigenous friend, and then another Indigenous friend asked would I consider, and then I just sent her my voice note. This is Selena Young, and we spoke, and she was just like, "Wow, you already did it! Like you already," and she was very, very happy. And then fast forward to working with my voice coach, who I wasn't gonna work with, not in a bad way. I was like, I got this, boom, boom. And she said, let me do 20 minutes with you. So she got on it. She said, just make Canada proud. Like she just says, it's not about you. You don't have to do too much.
yeah,
And I sang it, and she also was like, whoa. And then when it came to sound check, I sang it the original way.
I like that.
And then after, another friend of ours was like, you might want to actually sing it right now in the arena, the way you're going to do it, so that muscle memory, that you actually have done it. And then the rest is history. The man saw my bati and started.
Hold on, what?
And,
the announcer.
the announcer.
I peeped that too.
but that
The
took away
bati?
all the nerves.
Yo.
And I usually get nervous. I usually get a little bit of anxiety.
And you
like that.
paused too before you said that. Was that planned, the pause, or was that like in the moment? Like here,
It was all spiritual. Like
It's
most
history,
who
by the way.
know, who know how. Like when I'm in that space, I'm a total vessel. It's very, very spiritual. It takes over me. I'm literally just a conduit at that point.
So what happened?
Jesus.
So what happened right after? Like after you did it, you got, because when I tell you, I was watching it as well.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's clapping, all of that. Like, what did it feel afterwards? Like, what was that feeling after
Yeah.
you sang the national
We
anthem?
went back to the dressing room and we were just like jumping up and down, but not because of that. We were jumping up and down. It was like, okay, you did it. Like, it was such manifestation. I was supposed to do the anthem for the 2019 Raptors playoffs, like finals. So that's how they had my package. And fast forward, this is what's for you won't miss you. What's for you will never ever miss you.
Never.
You know what I mean? And to think that come December 2022, right before Christmas break, this email comes in. Would Jully Black be interested in doing this anthem? Now, I was feeling some kind of way in 2019. I was like burning fire on the holiday. I'm like, yo, I'm due. You're getting all these arms, those people. Like, what's going on?
Yo, hold up. I just want to say one thing.
What?
You two have something in common.
We're both from Jane and Finch.
I'm
I'm from the lane,
See Armshouse?
42
There it
Driftwood,
is.
Bottom Driftwood. Yeah.
Driftwood.
Right by the LBA court, and Boys and Girls Club.
Great
You
thing,
already
Boys and Girls
know.
Club.
Yes,
Great things about
these-
a Jane and Finch.
Exactly.
Come
And that's what I tell people all the time. No matter where you're from, like great people come out of Jane and Finch. It's not only
100%.
about the gunshots and all that the other stuff that they portray in the media.
Yep.
But people like ourselves, like there's amazing people.
They don't make them like us.
Exactly. Us, the Denim Browns, like more like there's
That's it.
all of different.
White Drummond.
Yeah,
Luther Brown,
exactly.
you know, the back of us.
You can't create that.
So yeah, I didn't feel like I didn't know it went viral until the next day. Like actually, the next day I went like, okay, watch the game now. And a friend of mine could see the telecast, and he sent me messages. He's like, get off your phone. I can see you on your phone. On TV, I can see you on your phone. I was just like, yeah. He's like, you want to like act like you're interested in the game? I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let me see what Twitter's saying.
Right. But then my nephew, who's in Atlanta, RJ, he sends me a message. He's like, Auntie Jully, you're trending, right? Thicker than a Snicker.
I like
Circular
that.
is-
Thicker
So I thought
than
that's
a
why I was trending for my body. I didn't even think
That
it
was trending?
thicker than a Snicker.
What?
Thicker than a
Listen, she look fit up.
No, I'm not denying
She
that.
look fit and round and like an
Yes.
English pound.
Hey, wrong
Yes.
English pound. I like that. Yeah. I like an English pound.
And the backlash, did the backlash come immediately? Or did
No,
it take time?
no. It was lots of love.
Yeah.
And even still, there was more. Out
There's
the jump,
definitely more love for sure.
from out the gate, there was more love. The only reason why I posted that piece of hate mail is because people are in denial that racism exists in Canada. Like completely
Thank
denial.
you.
Like even my friends, family around the world, they think we're just on some Brady Bunch. Everybody's just, you know, even systemically, like you guys just have it made up there. You guys have it made up there. Like no, there's racism, Bridget. You know what I mean?
She said Brady Bunch.
For real.
No,
I
they
don't show
really
my-
do. No, they really do,
Here's that
especially in
story.
America.
The
And
bad name Brady.
Oh man.
No, in America, they really think you guys like hold hands and
pure
sing
kumbaya
like
vibes.
kumbaya. Like
Yeah,
when you guys
kumbaya.
actually get aggressive, like they really
Ju-
think like they look at you guys sideways. Like, what? You guys
Yeah.
are angry people?
So I'm gonna call you by your first name now, okay?
What, my birth name?
Is it?
Look at her
Because you have
face.
to have permission to do that.
Exactly.
I apologize. So I'm just gonna
No,
go back
you
to
can call me, that's
I'm gonna just go back to Jully Black.
No,
Yeah.
it's on Wikipedia. I tried to
She's
change
royalty.
No,
I
I'm actually not. I'm
I'm on
at,
Wikipedia, and somebody changed it back. I'm like, somebody in India is working all night changing back my things.
practically.
Real talks.
Practically.
Them not sleep in India.
Do you-
Them not sleep.
now,
Yo, what
now-
are we talking about? That
Beer call centers in India changing.
no. So
But it's true.
So we've done three
funny,
we've done 3 interviews with
The circle.
the circle so far.
You had chalks, right?
We had
Sauce.
Solitaire
Okay.
and we had Socrates too. Pull up.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we pretty
That's
popular,
big.
man.
We had all
That
of them.
footage is gonna be very valuable. Keep that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my question for you
Yeah.
is, tell us. Now we went to the NBA All-Star game. There's a lot of right-wing motherfuckers who talk shit online. We're gonna get each one of them. We're gonna terminate each one of them. We want to talk about your past.
Okay.
Tell us about the circle. How did that come up?
Oh, the circle? Oh my goodness. So, 1994, Bob Ray administration. Anybody know
Bob
Bob Ray?
Ray.
Uncle Bob.
Bobby.
Uncle Bob. Uncle
Hey,
Bob.
this is Ontario. This is
So
Ontario.
I'm gonna say
That's when NDP won. The only time the NDP won.
Right.
Literally.
And he helped create
Healthcare.
the black music industry in Canada. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm telling you that. Trust me. So,
Shout out to Bob Ray.
Shout out to Bob Ray. He or his administration put together a program called Joy, Jobs Ontario Youth, where you were paid an hourly wage
I love this shit.
to do whatever. Like you get an internship, and you're paid hourly for the whole summer. It's your summer job. And Fresh Arts was a part of the Joy program, and we all met at the Joy program. And shout outs to Motion, Wendy. You know Motion? Google her. She's like writing all types into film and TV now. She's a rapper. Motion.
The name is.
It's okay.
I hate you, Brooklyn.
Are we going back to Rap
not Brooklyn.
Essentials?
Rap Essentials.
Yes,
Rap
yes,
Essentials.
Call him Brooklyn.
yes,
I call my man
I
Brooklyn.
peeped that. I'll deal
Rap
with you later.
Essentials.
I hate you, Glory.
Shouting out Motion because that summer
Freudian slip.
she was supposed to take 12, roughly 10, 12 into her program. It's like the ratio, like 1 to 10, 1 to 12. She took 41 of us, and she sacrificed her pay. And I came from Jane and Finch to go to Hyde Park. I took a bus, a train, and a streetcar.
Wow.
That's
To
dedication.
have for opportunity. To actually see. You know how many kids never get out
Yes.
and even see outside of the community?
Facts.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Don't even know what a train is.
Yeah.
Right? And so that changed my whole life. And from there, a friend of mine was going for her timetable at Oakwood Collegiate. She's like, you want to follow me to get my timetable? I jump on the bus. I'm like, yeah. So I walked into the school and I just felt greatness. I felt greatness. I didn't feel slamming dominoes. I didn't feel they're going to put a daycare in here because the pregnancy's on an all-time high. I didn't feel, I walked in. I'm like, I have to be in this school.
What year was this?
1994.
94. 94.
And I asked my mom, and she said, yeah, everything's worked out. Because usually if you don't have an address in the area, they say no. They said yes.
Wow.
And my mom's only rule was you can't be late. If you're late one day, you're going back to Jeffries. And I was never late.
Never late.
Bye bye, Jeffries.
Changed my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Make some noise for that.
Changed my whole life.
So how did you pull up? How did you link up with the circle?
How'd I like it?
How did you
Link
how did
up.
you
Oh, and I
link up
linked
with
up
them?
well. Okay, so in those days, there wasn't really an infrastructure
Brooklyn.
for
No.
for R&B music really to be heard on radio. And college radio was popping.
Yeah.
It was all about community radio.
Yeah.
And there was there was an underground scene. And so I had the presence of mind to say, I need to be the wife of hip hop. I need to be the wife
The
of hip hop.
wife of hip hop.
Yeah. I need to be everybody's hook. And whoever needed a hook, I was there.
Yeah.
Whether I'm writing it or not. And the first one was What It Takes with Choclair. And from there it was like,
Yeah, he told us the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What tell you?
Story, the first time he heard you.
Yo, wait, hold on. Yo, listen.
Yeah,
I
it
understand
was
she's
nothing
from.
but love. Yo.
Listen, I love the fact that
No,
the Jamaican,
hold on.
I love the fact that Jamaican comes out all the time. I love it. I love it.
I don't know if I should say anything now.
She turned. She said, "Oh, what say? Talk things. Tell me to make."
So you know what he told me?
Why you tell them?
Hurry.
So I link up with Choclair a lot. I talk a lot with him.
Okay, good.
We
good,
text.
Good. That's good.
So he told me a couple questions, a couple things that pop. Not like whatever.
Okay. He just said nothing at all, but okay. Okay, I'm listening.
You gonna air up the man's?
Okay.
Choclair said. He's like I'm like yo, because I want to be on my Nardwar shit, right?
Ah, okay.
And he's like, I'm like, hey, I'm just reading verbatim my text message with Chocolate.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, I got Jully Black this weekend. Is there any, and this is on Tuesday, the 18th.
Okay.
April the 18th, rather. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, I got Jully Black this weekend. Is there anything you got, like tidbits, I can blow her mind with?
Oh.
And he's like, ask her about the banana bullet parties at Chow's house in the 90s.
Banana bullet.
Banana bullet
bullet. Don't sound right.
So
kids watch this podcast. I don't know if we should talk about that.
No, you can.
The bullet. Oh my God.
Tell us
Cardi
about
made
it.
up the bullet. That's Cardi's mix.
That's what he said.
That's
what he said. So
yeah.
He's like ask about the bullet parties at Chow's house in the 90s in his basement with the circle, and then he's like ask the first time we officially met at Day's house to do What It Takes in his bedroom studio, which went on to win a Juno, and he's like, and I'm like, lol.
Wow.
Low. I'm like, low. What is she gonna say about the banana bullet party? And he's like, it's a Cardi drink that came up with, like it's a drink that Cardi came up with, and we would have circle parties, and he would make it. We did it once at New Year's Eve at Chow's house, and we were very lit that night. Tell us about that night.
The bullet is a very yummy. You see, I like sweet drinks. I told you I like sweet drinks, so it sneaks up on you. That's Cardi's drink for sure. There's a song, bullet, bullet, drink the bullet, drink the bullet. It's gonna have a bacchanal song. And that was the first and only time I punched my boyfriend in his face.
Jeez, yo. See, you're Toronto. You're a real Toronto girl.
And it was all bullet. He loved me so much, and we were still good friends.
Wait.
Thankfully,
Why did you punch him?
Wait.
the bullet just got me.
Bad girl, me not fear nobody.
The bullet got you?
The bullet got me, and I just
The man played
Socked him.
Hold
on, wait. Was it a left? Was it a left or a
I have
righty?
a strong right. I have a crazy right, but like I remember.
She said she got a crazy right.
I have a crazy
Pull
right.
up on her anytime she's around.
No, wait.
She got a crazy right.
Speaking of like crazy rights and physical, like your body is crazy. And I follow you on Instagram first off. I'm like a little snoop.
Watch it.
No, me you for do chalk, baby.
Hey,
1-2 chalk.
see
1-2
that?
chalk on field.
Hey.
But your step class, can I get involved in that?
I'm like, where have you been?
No, seriously. The way
been drawing it from 2020. Let's go.
Listen, when you were doing it, especially around like COVID times and stuff like that, you were getting really heavy into that.
Yeah.
And I went and bought myself a step just because of you.
Okay.
And simi try, and I'm a choreographer. And simi try to keep up, and she just and Batty just I said no, I need a body like yours.
I'm certified. I got certified over COVID. And it's interesting.
Oh, you're a trainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Step aerobics.
Okay.
And it's big in the States. Extreme hip hop with Phil. I certified under him. But the funny thing is, when stages closed, that step platform felt like a stage for me.
Oh, it was.
So every time I stepped on that step, it felt like a performance. It felt like I was still in my purpose, still helping others. It's just like a live show. And so as I start to teach and help people actually get over their fear, cognitively, I do a lot in the space with mental health. My mom at one point was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but
At one point?
Yeah, she's passed away since. But what I will say is this: as I start to learn about that illness, that's okay. It's the one thing it's second thing we're guaranteed, right? Life and death. But I was able to learn about music therapy and how dance and music actually helps fire and wire your brain, in a certain kind of way. And so I go to the memory clinic with my mom and advocate. And so there's certain things that were kind of foolery, where it's like they're asking her, for example, like what's a canopy or what's a, beaver tail or whatever. And I said, well, my mom in St. Anne's, like Jamaica, she wouldn't know what a canopy is. Like that's just not her thing. So I was helping them kind of rethink about how they test people. And then when I started to do dance with her at the time, I got Zumba certified too. Yeah. And brought her back to the memory clinic. And she didn't need any more medication. She, at 81, she lived on her own right to her last days. Right? Wow. So the positive around like, you could actually, if you have the time and the heart, you could win this thing.
So would you teach classes? Is that
it's virtual now, but we just did a big thing at Four Seasons with Lululemon.
No, meaningful come.
Yeah, come through. We're going to do stuff this summer.
I've heard you speak about your mom a couple of times.
All the time. Bad Gal Mackie's her Instagram. She didn't know she had one.
Really? Wait, what? Whoa, wait, what?
Don't put me on the Facebook. Meanwhile, she have Instagram.
She never called it Facebook. She called it Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook. You see what I mean? Jamaicans turn it into whatever they want. Facebook, Facebook.
Yeah.
Were you always close with your mother?
I was close. Yeah. And then teenage hormones.
Yeah.
Wasn't like she was like my starch enemy.
Yeah. She's your ops.
Right?
She's your ops at one point.
And then
that's the ops.
As my mom started to heal and become more accepting of her life and unafraid to share her stories, we got closer. And so I'm the only Canadian born child. And so I would interview her, and especially when I got into journalism.
How crazy was your house?
It wasn't crazy at all.
9 children?
Yeah, that's not crazy. No, it's love.
It was all.
And let's remember too that. Not remember. I would like to share that my siblings are 10, 15, 20 years older than me. So the most exciting time would be like I wasn't even born yet. So for me, I had I almost had like a bunch of parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those
so
are
it's kind of like
gaps.
could you go home?
Yeah.
Could you go home? Because I have one mom. You know my mom. And then they couldn't beat me, so they felt some kind of way.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Half Empty. You followed the shot review. Absolutely love that song.
Thank you.
Half Empty. Was that? I'm assuming it was based on.
Yeah, true story. Everything's true.
True story. And
is Money Jane true as well?
Cardi wrote that.
She takes a sip.
Cardi wrote that. That's what to say. Jason. Everybody knows his name is Jason.
Yeah,
my brother.
Yeah. Can we touch on that relationship a bit? Are you comfortable? Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
I mean, Half Empty. I mean, listen to the
Half
words.
Empty or the Cardi?
No, not.
No, we talking about Half Empty right now. We talking about Half Empty right now. That's what we doing.
It seems like
You
you're
see
too.
Hey.
That's how mix-up style.
Yeah, it's the media. It's the media. She's media trained. She's media trained.
We need some viral moments right now. So.
You can't throw me. There's no interview that can throw me.
You see what happens
in life?
I'll ask a question, and this guy will like try to overtake my shine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
Half
sorry,
Empty.
I
That
love
song,
you.
absolutely love it.
I love you. I love you. I'm sorry.
Okay, can I ask my question?
Yes, sir. You may.
Okay, thank you. Half Empty is based on a relationship.
Yeah.
How long was that relationship?
9 years.
9 years. And you were. So when you say half empty, like break that down for me. What do you mean when you say half empty?
Why? If you're already empty and you're half of the empty, there's nothing left. Imagine that. Half of the empty. So it's like an epiphany.
Yeah.
Really. That was operating off of fumes.
Yeah.
And so many people, but so many women don't realize that you're like, yo, beer fumes been upon.
Time to move on.
9 years.
Yeah. Biggest teacher, best friend now to this day.
Time.
We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Time, maturity, forgiveness, grace, accountability. Because I stayed. My hands and feet weren't tied.
Could have left, but she
My
stayed.
hands and feet weren't tied.
Yeah. So you don't regret that part of your life?
I don't have a regretful personality. I might be on a bonfire on things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean the gun came out in it.
The Jaden
I was like,
I don't regret, but you know
low
what?
key, the Jaden Finch came
so
out.
this is the thing.
Low
Like,
key.
I might hurt something.
so this is what I'm going through right now. Sharing it with Jen just recently today. Jen, Usher, shout out Champagne Room. We're gonna have our own kind of podcast. Anyway, in therapy, my homework last week and this week is facts versus feelings.
I hear conservatives say that all the time.
All right. Well, it's that could you prove factually that person was trying to undermine you, that person was really trying to hurt you or whatever. So if I can't find proof that this is what that person was trying to do, then I have to really rewrite that story for myself.
So I have a question. When it comes to especially the Black community and the urban community, you basically said, therapists and things of that. So I'm assuming you're
team therapy.
You see,
Team right
but
therapists.
as we were growing up, talking to people, it's like we gotta talk to somebody for like, you understand what I mean? Like there was nothing called mental health in our household. That word would never be. You understand? Trauma, things of that nature was never. So what made you decide? You know what? I am going to step outside of that box and actually go and sit down with somebody to speak to.
I was years ago, my first round with therapy, 2009. I was still in that relationship, and I just didn't recognize myself anymore. But I'm also I'm a performer. I'm an actor. So I realized I was kind of going through my life acting. And so I needed somebody to talk to. And in that season, I learned clarity through contrast. And was able to use the experiences I was going through, the contrasting experiences, to find clarity. And there was a whole exercise around that. And I was with that therapist for a little while, but I was like, okay, well, I just felt like I kind of got this. And then I hadn't done therapy in a long time. And it wasn't until I went on The Amazing Race last year. And I said to the executive producer, I'm like, you guys got some therapy? Because this is traumatic. Like, we're going to need someone to talk to. Like, wagwan.
Mm-hmm. How many cameras were following you at the time?
Oh, gosh. The crew was 1,000. Like, literally.
Yeah.
It's a big show.
Did you throw your hands up at one point and said, nah, like, you can't film that? Like, was it too much?
No, I'm media trained. Anything you film, you could use. Mm-hmm. I only give you what you could use.
Oh, okay.
Period. Mm-hmm. So I'm so excited to like mentor more artists and people in media.
Got it.
To be like, oh, edit that out, or just don't say it.
He could definitely use your help.
Just don't
this guy
say
right
it.
here.
Here we go with the narrative.
You know what's crazy?
It's the narrative.
You said some wild stuff.
You know what's crazy? I just went to Sony for to be a intern for Sony, to be a PR and A&R and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that they were speaking about when I went to the orientation and stuff like that. That was like, in the meeting, that's basically what they said, that a lot of artists are not really polished when it comes to media. A lot of them need media training.
Right.
So when it comes to media training, how important did you feel, like, when did you realize that you actually need, because obviously when you first started, you probably thought, yo, I got this, I don't need nobody. When did you actually wake up and say, you know what? No, I need somebody that can help me develop myself better so I can do interviews better? Like, what made you decide?
What most don't know is I was signed at 14 years old. So I got signed to Epic Records out of New York.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah, so there you go. Fun fact. So they put me in media training at 14. And it's literally like how to get out of a car, how to eat, what fork to use. It was the railing is there. What hand do you use? Okay, look at the door. There's a hinge. How do you open the door? Like, it was like Motown. Like, it comes from like that Motown training.
Yeah.
How Diana Ross and them were trained. And then the whole thing about you recognizing that you control the interview. Like, every interview you control. Active listening. Right? Let the person finish what they're saying. Okay, did I hear that? Okay, so what I heard is, like, there's just different things. So, and I think I realized that, I'm very spiritual. I believe in God, etc. There was a calling on my life to do media, to be in journalism, and I didn't know that at 14 because I was on E-Talk at like 30. So
yeah,
it's all like Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. Like, it's leading somewhere. So that's why my mom used to say it's not for naught. Everything happens for the right reasons. Like, everything that happens.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Where are you at mentally in terms of relationships? Are you open to dating?
Oh yeah,
or-
purpose partner. Purpose
Yeah?
partner.
What's that? What's a purpose?
A purpose partner. I'm excited to attract a purpose partner now that I'm working on the healing. I've attracted that which I was. I attracted broken because I was broken. Like flat out, it's a mirror. It's projection and reflection.
Got it.
What you project, you absolutely reflect. And then sometimes you get to a point. This is fundamentally what I believe anyway. You get to a point in a relationship where you're looking at each other, and that projection and reflection is different now because somebody's grown, somebody's not growing, and that's when it's like, okay, so how do we make this change?
So, what's your ideal guy? Is there a physical? Is there a physical type that you're interested in?
It seems like there's athletic abilities.
Makes sense.
Very, very smart. Smart, almost on the spectrum, like a beautiful, beautiful mind. Loves family. Believes in God. Doesn't have to be overly religious, but spiritual for sure.
Yeah.
Has an amazing circle of friends.
Got it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Loves to travel. You know what I mean? Good personal hygiene.
Julie Black,
That's a
we're
big
gonna.
thing.
I apologize.
Emotional
We're gonna like dig into your brain a little
Okay,
more.
so he doesn't want me to finish talking about my guy. So if you
No,
remember out
because-
there-
No.
Because
if you are out there.
Yeah,
Call
thank you. Let her
1-800.
finish.
Yes.
Julie,
I-
I
Julie.
am applying.
Does he have to be
You're
black? Does he have to be black? Do you care?
So this is what I spoke to my friend Vivian Barclay, and I could say that because we spoke about it recently. Who is biracial, but she doesn't look biracial, but she's biracial. I say that to say 'cause
On the
people-
white side or the black side?
her mom is white, her dad black.
So when you
She's
say
Jamaican.
she looks biracial, but she doesn't.
No, she doesn't look mixed. Like if you just look at her,
She looks black.
Is that incorrect? Mixed. Can't say mixed, right? She doesn't look. She doesn't look. Yeah. So that was mixed. Julie said mixed. She's canceled.
I know. Can't say mix. Can't say the M word.
Is she on the black side?
No, black. But let me finish what I'm saying. So, so what I was gonna say. So what I was saying is this. So you said, does he have to be black? So he would have to be so woke, and like be at the front of the march, and be the only one marching sometimes. March with and without me. And not just eat a patty.
From
And know how
Randy's.
to, dirty wine. Like, no.
It's a lifestyle. He has to live the life.
Yeah, it's called.
I know what he's talking about.
It's culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Love is love.
Excuse me.
I love me a black man, though. I can keep it real.
Yeah.
Love me a black man.
Dark skin
Love me a
or
black man.
milk chocolate? Which one you like? The
Black.
dark?
No, it don't matter. Just black.
Just-
Just black. Whatever.
All right.
Your
So-
DMs are gonna.
I mean,
be
if the white
full.
guys were coming checking for me, then I would, but the white guys aren't checking. Actually, this guy slipped into my DMs. Remember? This white guy.
Jonathan.
Hold on there. This
Jonathan.
white guy- Hold on there.
What are you doing? You can't handle this, Jonathan. Just
This
go
white guy-
home.
This white guy slipped into my DMs, right? All type of ab frame, rip up abs, right?
That's a Jonathan.
So I was like, I said, okay, call me. I go, call me on FaceTime. I could want to see if your ab frame look like that's in the picture, right?
Yeah.
He called me on the FaceTime. He looked a little bit different. I was like, okay.
A little bit.
I was like, okay.
First
okay.
red flag.
But then the man sends me some video
Uh-oh.
of his cottage and all type of lake and boat. You remember? I was like, what? The man coming like he's gonna chop me up. Like, like, that's not sexy. This is my gym and this is my cottage and this is the lake.
This is where I'm gonna bury
Sorry,
you.
guys.
So he's a provider.
No, he's letting you know.
provider. He's
No,
not-
he's
like-
listen. He's letting you know off the rip.
I'm helping Jonathan out. He's a provider.
First off,
He's got money.
first off, you're showing us.
He's a 1% man.
First off, you're showing a black girl a lake.
Yeah, no,
My
thank you.
hair, I'm not jumping in no lake. So why
Well,
are
my
you
hair
showing
can
me
drop
one
in
too
a lake
late?
now. So
I'm not
sometimes
going.
Chop off my things. Chop off my things. Lake, river, ocean, pool. I don't know about the pool with the blonde, but definitely lake, river, ocean. Let's go.
Okay, so this is if you're on one right now.
So
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
it here.
I need you. Where's the camera? Is that the camera right there?
Yeah.
Is the camera right
keep- Yeah.
there? This is the Do You Know Yourself section.
Do you know yourself?
Oh, okay.
Julie Black knows herself and more.
Okay.
But here's
Tell the
a
people
couple.
This is 11 questions.
Ready? 12. I got one.
Is it rapid?
I do
Hold on.
think
But you gotta give it a premise. Like, what are you
it's
gonna be
this
asking?
or that.
Is this or that?
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
this
two
is that.
choices,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. So we have number one, Charlie Wilson or Luther Vandross.
Oh, I gotta take Uncle Lufa.
Okay. All right, baby. Morning sex or evening sex, huh?
Ooh, morning. I like a good spoon. Not gonna lie.
I like that.
I like a wake up spoon.
Okay.
Look over your shoulder.
Oh,
Don't have to, because you don't have to brush your teeth, right? So
that's a fact.
Bum, 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 bum.
The look at the back. I get it.
Come on.
I get
That's
it.
your camera right there. That's your camera right there.
You see that? You give the look off.
Yes.
I'm not self-conscious about my breath.
Yo,
Your breath there over there. So.
yeah, so it's just like, baby, oh, yeah, do.
Baby.
Yeah.
Well, over
Back
here.
it up.
Yo, yes.
Okay, so we have money or love.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You have to pick one.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In this situation, you have to.
You have to pick one.
All right, moving on. Moving on.
No, leave
Hey,
it.
money can buy love.
Look at her.
No, not.
No. In my 45-year-old maturity, I gotta think about that.
No, that's a tough one.
I gotta think about that one. Money or love?
Okay, let's put it to the Jully Black first coming up in the scene. You're popping, all of that. Money or love?
No, that's beer love. But it's beer love, but since I'm single,
I'm ready for
I should
mingle.
have took the money. If the man was offering money, I should have probably took the money.
Okay,
Jonathan with the lake house has money.
so party king or party time?
No, I mean, I ain't none of them.
Randy's party.
Allen's.
Allen's. Okay.
Kennedy.
Allen's.
Kennedy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And she's from Gin and Finch.
Okay.
She's from the West Side.
Hold on.
All day the patient.
Chicago has the best.
Okay, so
Come on.
Jamaican KFC or Canadian KFC?
Oh, come on. I just told you that. Jamaican KFC, like, yo, finger on my lip. And I don't even lick finger.
Come on.
Dancehall or soca?
Dancehall, I wipe my head top. I can wipe my head top.
Tupac or Biggie?
I can wipe my head top, bro.
Tupac or Biggie? You said Biggie?
Biggie.
That's how I'm 7 would like each other. Brooklyn, you already know.
Biggie.
Okay, brown or white liquor? She prefers wine, but brown or white?
Yeah, no. White.
Okay.
Yeah, white.
Spring or fall?
Yeah,
Summer. Monsieur, summer.
Spring or fall?
She said summer.
Summer. None of them.
Lauren,
None of them.
Lauren
I'll say
Hill.
spring. I'll say spring.
Lauren Hill or Beyonce?
Oh, Lauren Hill.
By far.
Don't come for me behind.
Kyle Lowry or DeRozan? DeMar
I have to pick
DeRozan.
one of them.
Yes, you have to.
They both left Raptors. I don't know why.
And
It's on
please, look at the camera.
Kyle Lowry, very, very nice. No, he's a very nice person. I met him. We did some charity events together, and he's very nice.
Okay.
Kyle Lowry, ladies and gentlemen.
Backbone Slide or Old Time Killer?
All time killing.
Okay. And I have something for you because I know that, somebody that was very dear to your heart besides your mother was your dog Kobe.
Well, he's still here. Kobe's still here.
Kobe,
Coco
I love the fact that you love animals.
I love dogs.
So I have a question for you. Kobe or Michael? Michael Jordan or Kobe?
Oh, jeez. Really?
I know you named the dog Kobe, so I just wanted to
That's
throw
a
that
tough
out
one
there.
because you don't want to just give dead props,
Facts.
Sometimes people give
Yeah.
dead props. And I'm going to say that.
We do that a lot.
I'm going to say something that's maybe sounds a little bit interesting. Don't worry, Jen. I won't embarrass you. There was a year. It was one of my. I had a really good run with one of my singles, and we were like, people were like, "You're gonna win the Juno that year." We're like, "You're gonna win the Juno," and that's the year Hayden passed away from Jack Soul. God rest his soul. And then so they let him win the Juno, and that's when I sat there. I was like, you know what? Sometimes Canada can be such a place where you give a participation ribbon. Everybody gets a yellow ribbon.
Got it.
Yeah.
And instead of like, just looking at the greatness, just looking at like, let the best thing get the props and the credit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I find that in our culture we do that a lot, where people will be goated just because they've passed away.
Facts.
It
Talk the
happens a
things.
lot. You know
Talk
what I
the
mean?
things.
And I know it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but it's real.
But it's conversations we need to have. I'm glad you even engage it.
So when you come back, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can touch on it a bit more.
Saint Germain.
Yes, and I'll have that for you.
have that?
I'll have that for you and everything else.
I just
One more question. I have to a couple more questions.
Okay.
Who taught you how to sing? Not sing.
Sang. Because you
sister.
sang, girl. You don't
Sang.
You sang.
Jesus.
You grew up in the church.
Jesus. Grew up in the church, yeah. But I didn't have anybody that taught me how to sing. So my sister Sharon, who also passed away when I was 12.
Recipes.
Thank you. She would sing while she painted. So she's a visual artist, but she could sing like me. But she didn't consider herself a singer. So she was 12 years older than me. So I kind of just sit by her foot and listen to her sing while she was painting. So she's the first person I heard sing well. Other than that, church, and then the chromosomes got crossed because all my siblings could paint, draw, do fashion, sew, and I can't even do stick figure. Like I can't do hangman, nothing. But I got the singing gene. So
I have a question for you. Sorry, I have a question for you. So I know I'm about female empowerment all the time. I love Miss Shimi. The time that I met her, I met you as well when I was Miss Caribbean Queen. I got the opportunity to meet you as well. But the fact that you ladies paved the way for young women like myself, right? I have, in regards to when you worked with Paris Richards, because you know you did have the opportunity of working with Paris Richards. How did that? I know when I did the interview, she was so excited to let me know and stuff like that. But like people say, there's always two sides to every story. I'm not saying that her story is wrong. I'm just saying I would love to hear your side. So she said when she first met you, you were very, very, very nice. You were a vibe in the studio. You made her feel very comfortable. You didn't make it seem like you were up here and she was down here. You made her feel like she was at the same level.
I'm glad.
So when it comes to things of that nature, because you have been in the game for so long and we respect you, you're OG in the game, you've been doing it. Like, how did that collaboration come about? Because it's two different generations, right? So how did that collaboration come about?
Well, Dubs, Jonathan, her producer manager, he was relentless.
Dub J.
He reach out everywhere, every type of, anywhere he could hit us up, he did. And finally when it actually got to me, because there's boundaries. Like I have to look, thankfully I'm here now. It took a little while, but I'm here right on time. I realized, I said, you know what? And people had different things to say. And her and I spoke about this. People have judged her. She has a past. We all have a past.
Yeah.
I often say if we walked around and people could read our thoughts, like it was just like a digital sign.
Or when we used to wear the belt, that look digital.
But imagine that, like even all now, we probably have no friends.
Yeah,
our family probably would stop talking to us right away.
Yeah,
we probably wouldn't even like ourselves. Yeah. And so there was some judgment going on. I was like, you know what? I want to get on a Zoom. I just want to meet her, just as a person. She came on, had a bonnet, no makeup, just the person. I want to hear your story. I'm like, who are you? And so I said, I want to do, if we do work together, it needs to be meaningful. And I want to do something that I want to hear your story.
Yeah. I like that too. And
when she told me your story, and I just was like, yo, I got you. And that's actually how it came out. Like, yo, I got you. And so that's when we wrote it.
And that's a testament to how great of a person you are. Because I asked you off camera, but you showed me down, you said ask on camera. Right? What made you come here? Because, it's not like we're the biggest platform. We're building. We're new. Well, he's not new, but I am.
Yeah, come on, he's being.
No. I mean, in terms of
you're sir. Okay, sir.
I don't know about you, but me did there from a long time. There.
So, I mean, new in terms of length of time. I've been doing this with you since what, October, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. But anyways, what made you decide to come to the Steady Mobbin podcast? Because like we see you and it was a Hail Mary shot. I'm like, let me just try Jully Black and see if I can make a thing happen. And here you are.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. Like, what made you decide to come here?
I was told at a very young age when I was first signed to Sony, you never know who you're sitting beside. And I keep that. I keep that in my pocket. And I was on the receiving end of that. When Nas asked me to be on his track and didn't charge me when I asked him to be on my album.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're even, we're equal. Like, I'm like, yo, it's like Illmatic, like you're Nas. You know what I mean? And
yo, big shout out for that real quick. Like, what are we doing out here?
Went to Sony, he advocated. He went like, don't charge. You know what I mean? I went to MC at the time, like, don't charge. And I didn't have any, my album wasn't even out yet. Right? This was 2003.
Yeah.
With Heaven. So
amazing.
I keep that in my pocket. Like, and I'm discerning. I'm very, 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 very discerning.
I get that. I
And
feel it.
and you know, Jen's a gun woman, so if I needed to,
And she's
She needs to
beautiful,
pop off.
by
Jen
the
looks
way.
like
Yeah,
she's
she
having
is
a-
gorgeous.
Jen is
Pop off.
beautiful.
but
Brains
no,
and beauty.
And you know what too? It's like I do a lot in media and what I would call white media, like the whole country, the world. I speak to all media, right? But there's not a lot of black media.
True.
And we're working to be
You know
the,
what I mean?
the black media in
And
Canada.
so
That's what we're doing out here.
It's important.
Absolutely.
It's important. It is very, very important.
Thank you so much.
So I have a question. How do you pick your circle? Because I know from the beginning to the end, your circle probably, I'm assuming, would have changed from obviously from the beginning to now.
Right.
What made you decide like that day that said, you know what, I gotta cut these people off? Because a lot of people think that you gotta, even though you come from Jane and Finch, you come from the hood, people feel like you need to take that with you, but you're still part of the, like, we know that who Jully Black is and what you have done for our community. We appreciate you. But I'm saying when it comes to your circle, because it's very small, it's
Tight.
It's very tight, like
tight,
a
like a bathing suit.
like they would say a batual. Sorry, but tight,
That's tight.
very very tight.
Tight.
But, I'm sorry.
What?
But I'm just saying, with Jully,
I love this shit.
How did you basically say, you know what, this is my circle, this is who I'm working with, and that's who I'm rocking with going forward?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I realized that people over the years have kind of faded to black on their own. I realized there were times where I was going through the roughest times of my life. I lost all my money. This person died. This lost my record deal. Lost this, that. And I'm like, who's still around me? But I also am in a space that it's the seniority. I don't deal with seniority too tough. It's more about loyalty and being active in my life.
A big shout out for that. Actually.
Having an active role in my life. It's like if you have a membership or you have some sort of something that you're not using, they're going to close the account.
Yeah.
It hasn't been active,
Got it.
right? So that's very, very important. And it's not a matter of like a bag of things. Like, that was really hood. I just said a bag of things. But I look at my mom. If I think about my mom later on, she could count on one hand who the aces were.
Yeah.
Right? And my mom would also, and I'm doing this now more so than before, she would say, make people miss you.
Facts.
Make people miss you. Like, why? When I was a kid, I was always going to go, Mom, I want to go call on, knock on this person's door. I want to go play with this person. And she would say, make them come knock on your door.
Yeah. And for you, the next time you want to describe how tight something is, just say tight like that.
Okay, you know what? I said it. Listen, I said it in Jamaican terminologies that I knew that Jully would understand.
What you said?
Okay, it's a Jamaican thing. It's a Jamaican thing. We
That was
understand.
funny.
Tight like his
I
pants. that's all.
guarantee when you put this out, and as soon as I say a tight like the man them and the females will,
I
and
get
Jamaica
it.
will understand what I'm talking about.
I didn't expect that. That was good.
I get that. How did you meet Jen? How do you know Jen?
Yeah, how did you
Jen
guys? Because
can
you
tell
guys
that story.
look like you guys been friends for, or you guys been like.
So I met Jen like 20 years ago, 20-something years ago. But I was like, I wasn't feeling her.
Oh,
Because, so she was down with the man, New York University, Cardi, the rest of them, Solitaire, etc. But I come from the fresh art side. You see what I'm saying? And I was the only girl on tour with them and having to like get the groupies off. And, so I thought she was a groupie. True story. I wasn't feeling her. I was like, And fast forward to all these years later.
Look at that.
She's not a
COVID,
groupie.
And she's not a groupie. She's a boss.
Yeah.
This woman got her master's and nobody knew she was going to school. It's crazy. Like last year. Grandmother of two.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Wait. You remember? You
Yeah.
know what's crazy, Jully? The earlier when we were speaking before you came in, we were talking about Black Don't Crack,
Yeah.
and we were talking about the fact that we still get carded sometimes when we go into restaurants or go into places and things of that nature.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys been, first off, you look amazing
Hello.
for your age.
Hello.
Okay, amazing. So does Jully.
Hello. This is
and
true.
and things of that nature.
This is true.
It's just like, can you give us a little bit of insight? Like, give the young gal them.
Yeah.
Is including myself.
Yeah.
A little gem, 1-2 gem that you want to give to us that makes you feel 20 years younger at all times. Please, one gem, just one.
Physical. I have to give you a few still. Physical activity for sure. Eating well. Oxytocin. You need to laugh. Laughter.
We did a lot of
You
that
get
today.
that. You get,
Yep.
right? You get that
Yep.
from laughter. You get that from holding babies. You get that from petting dogs, animals. Like this is where there's a side of me that's kind of urban.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Urban.
You need to stop it.
But I subscribe to the science. Like now I'm starting to understand even the power of intermittent fasting, understanding hormone health. A lot of people in our culture they'll be like, oh, diabetes runs in the family. No, it doesn't run in the family. You just all eat the same.
Because that's a fact.
The whole lot I eat dumpling.
That's a bar.
The whole lot I eat yam.
That's one hell of a
Mashed
bar.
potato. Where's the protein? Green
Where are the
banana.
greens?
Oh, no,
Green banana.
Where are the greens?
That shit. Green banana, dumpling.
Everything
yam.
green.
And remember, in the dumpling has cornmeal
Festival,
and all these type of
Right?
things in
So,
it.
no, we were born
Yes.
with, like, the structure out the gate to just build on. But it's like some people have actually, like, taken away from what we're already born with. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because of an environment and because of, routine culture. So
Culture. There
a
it is,
lot of my
yeah.
siblings have diabetes, and my mom passed of pancreatic cancer, and that's, the pancreas creates insulin. And so I was on a mission for a long, long time, like way before mom got sick, to make sure that I could change that generationally, just break that generation.
And that's an aspect too, because we focus a lot on the physical in terms of trying to look good.
right.
But there's more benefits than just looking great.
Yeah, it's all
Are
on
you
the
saying
inside.
that we should wrap it up right now?
No, it's all on the inside. No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Looking fit and being healthy, two different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to ask. So you got signed with Epic at 14.
Yeah.
I was listening.
Yeah.
And
You got
from
that.
between 14 and 2000 and you said 3? Your
When I
first
did
solo
something
your
with
first
us.
solo album?
First solo album was 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
And you're doing a bunch of hooks,
Features.
features and everything in between. What could you just in Cole's notes tell us what did you go through in between then and your first album?
Oh, wow. So between then and my first album, my management started to fight in New York. They split their team, split. And the label at the time didn't know what to do with me. They're like, okay, who's your manager? And that's when that first record.
And Epic. That was over at Epic.
Over Epic. Yeah, they signed me, Little Vicious, and Patra at the same time.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, Patra Padikias.
Queen and Other Trump.
Yeah, I know, right?
Queen
I know. It was so
Pop.
fun. Imagine being 14 years old. Like, I'm like,
You
now
don't know who
starting to
Patra
think
is.
about what this book is going to look
Wow.
like. But yeah, so that.
Did you say book?
Yeah.
You're writing a book?
You didn't hear from me.
Oh. Oh, wow.
We heard that steady mobbing.
I like how she just slid that in there so quietly. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I got a publishing deal though as well. Warner Chappell.
Congratulations.
So that was really cool. Way back then, like so between the album, way back. So I got signed at 14.
Okay.
At 16, we did What It Takes with Shockler. 16.
You were 16 then?
Yeah, I was a baby.
Come on.
With a voice of like Jesus. I
Thank
would have
you.
never
Yeah, the baby.
thought.
The youngest.
You
of
were
the
I would have
16
never
then?
thought
Yeah, I
you
was
were
turning
16.
17.
Jeez, that's
Youngest of the crew,
wild.
youngest of the crew.
Oh wow.
But then I went to Seneca. and I went for law enforcement. Graduated, so that was cool.
Law enforcement.
Yeah,
I took the same course as Centennial, by the
Did
way.
you?
Yes.
Okay, did you get your FAC?
I think I did. Actually, no,
That's
I
a
did.
no.
You did?
I did.
From the man said, I think.
No, I
know.
actually did.
You
I
did
actually,
it.
At Centennial College, it was a police foundation course.
Yeah.
I did a 2-year course there, and it was a yes, I did.
Yeah, good.
It was good.
So yeah, and that's all the things I did. All
I
the
have a
things.
photo. I think I have a photo of you and the whole team.
See, this
Which
is what
team?
I'm nervous about. The fact that you have like
Were you there?
pictures of this woman. Like,
No, you weren't there.
Where?
Glor,
Was it like the high school?
you're not.
picture?
You're
Is
not.
that
You're
Kid
not.
Cut?
You're not. You're not concerned like how I'm concerned
Kid
about
Cut
Judy over here. Or?
socks.
No, he's.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at Sean Sachs. Did you know Sean Sachs? He
Name
passed
sounds
away.
No.
familiar.
He's the one with the bandana there. Awesome human DJ. Is that Jay? Wow. We get this.
See what I mean?
Socrates sent it over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
Wow.
I'm such a nerd. Like I mean, Socrates go back and forth. He's like he feeds me all this shit. He tells me what's going on.
The Canadian music industry. I mean, you've had an amazing career. Do you have any thoughts on maybe your treatment, maybe the appreciation or lack thereof? Like, do you have any thoughts on just the climate of the Canadian music industry? I mean, we've had broken down some walls, but I still feel like as a collective, it hasn't been enough to kind of propel Canada to the forefront of music. You know?
Right.
A couple guys have made it through. A couple girls. Well, yeah, on the R&B side, maybe. Yeah, on the R&B side.
Yeah.
Not so much on the rap side. Do you just have any thoughts?
I think it's
What
how
do you
you
think of
define
it?
success for yourself.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I would have had different thoughts, but on today, and especially what happened with the anthem, I realized that when God's not finished with you yet, and you're ready, then those doors will open. Mm-hmm. I think that it's important for artists to establish your why, what's your intention, and know that there's so many different avenues, especially now.
Yeah.
And like radio's different. There's the streaming platforms, this, that.
This platform.
You know, I also realized that I recently had my own like aha of, I say it, Jen, they hear me say it all the time, that I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Like I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, as close as my mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Who worked for $1.65 an hour, who came here on a domestic scheme in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, sent for her kids one by one, had me in the 70s, and was just excited to buy me ice cream from the ice cream truck. Like, that was success. She could go outside, give me money, and I could go back.
Big shout out for that, actually. That's
Like,
actually.
you know what I mean? So I'm excited to mature. My mom used to always say, everyone ages, not everybody grows up. And I'm enjoying growing up.
All right, Gloria.
That.
Hold on. I have a question. Where were you when you heard that you were nominated for your first Juno Award? Do you remember how that feeling felt?
Yeah, actually.
Like that
that's a good question.
feeling.
So, true story, I used to call myself Jully Lucci. And there was a
Sick.
woman named Susan Lucci.
I like that.
Julie
So
Lucci.
Susan Lucci, soap opera actor, used to be nominated and never win.
Oh no.
And I manifested losing. Because I would call myself Jully Lucci every year.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Here comes Jully Lucci again.
Yeah.
Here comes Jully Lucci. Nominations come out. Jully Lucci. Jully Lucci. Hold on there. Jully Lucci. And then I deliberately didn't say it in 2008. And that's the year I wasn't only nominated for R&B, I was nominated for Single of the Year with Feist, with it made history, with Bublé, and I think Anne Marie or whatever. Like there was never been an artist, black artist, female, to be in that category.
Yeah.
Right? I won the R&B award that year and closed the award show that year.
Wow.
So with Russell Peters being the first person of color to host that awards in 40 something years.
Wow.
Right? So words have power.
Absolutely.
Call me a granola eating hippie. Words have
Absolutely.
power.
Absolutely.
And so I don't remember where I was when I heard like the first nomination because I was miserable. I couldn't even tell you right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can tell you where I was with that other one, with the 2008.
Yeah.
Right? I was at my manager's office at the time. But it was like, Jules, R&B single of the year and single of the year. What? Like, it was a whole other thing.
Wow.
Yeah. And they want you to close the show. And it's just like,
Do you remember what you were wearing?
Come on, that
And
was
how
subtle flex.
how do you pick your stylist for that? You know, like as a woman, like when it comes to big events, like everybody wants to dress everybody. So it's like, how did you actually turn around and say, you know what, I'm gonna wear so and so for the Junos
I'm
for
not
the first
interested
time?
in clothing, cars. Like I had a stylist. I still have a stylist now. But my stylist from 2002 to 2015 was one person, Peter Papapatru,
Ooh.
who's awesome. And then my stylist from 2015 till now is Chantel Hines. She goes by Sharon Angela Styles. And my stylist has to know me. You have to know my personality. And also, I have to have a trust where if you put me in something, I would never wear loafers. Never. Never. And now she's like, put on the loafers. I'm like, okay. I kind of like the loafers still. The bunion feels good in the shoes.
Dead.
Oh,
I like
right.
that. I just had to ask because
Thank
you
you
know
for
a lot of females we wonder that, like, what is Julie? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was wondering when you were wearing at the All-Star game. What were you
that was
wearing?
4 outfits later.
What were
They
you?
didn't approve 4 outfits.
What were you wearing?
Who didn't?
the day?
The NBA.
What was the
Jeez.
final approval?
The
Like,
red dress with the leather.
who were we
Interesting.
wearing? Is that
I
a?
don't even know. I just put it on. My stylist put it on me. I don't know. I don't wear labels.
Okay.
She was a conduit that
But you
night.
know, you look really nice. You look
She wasn't
really,
even
really
there.
good.
She was a conduit there.
I'm done with you.
All right, that is it from another episode of the Steady Mobbin Crew. Thank you. Do you have
you.
any shout outs? Do you have anybody you want to salute?
Yeah, Usra, Lovelace, Jen Seif, who's over there in the Champagne Room. We are the Champagne Room. Jason Reynolds, management. Just a bad guy people. Who else?
Turner Fenton.
Who's that?
Turner Fenton, my niece.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's that?
So, Julie, I have a question.
No, but I want to shout out.
school, yes.
I want to shout out everybody who is willing to bet on themselves.
That's it.
Ooh.
Flat out.
That's
Yes.
it. That's all.
Julie, I have a
you.
question. How could we get you to come back
We're
to
trying to close.
the
Saint
neighborhood?
Germain.
No, I was talking about to
Yo,
the neighborhood.
I will get
to
you
the
a Saint
Jane and
Germain.
Finch
I didn't
neighborhood.
realize how serious that was.
Last week, I still go to Jada Finch.
Okay.
All the time.
Because there's a big tournament coming
When?
up. The 26th of April.
Of
I mean,
April?
sorry, of August. Sorry.
Switch each other's ID information and
Where?
let's make it happen.
Lane.
Elaine?
Yeah.
Pull up. Hey, we're about to do the shot review with you next.
A shot?
The shot
Shot
review.
review.
Oh, what's this? I'm supposed to listen
Where I,
to that.
where I-
sound clash.
it's where I rinse this man. Close it up.
It's
Close
where
it up.
these listen. It's
Look
basically
at the
where
camera.
these two go at each other, and then we basically have to pick who wins
Okay.
of the
So I
portion.
need to put my headphones on for this?
Yeah, you may have to.
So
You're gonna have
it
to.
gets intense. I'm not gonna lie to you because they be pulling out things out of the woodwork that you don't even know about.
So close it up. Look at the camera.
Yes, that is it from the Steady Mobbin Podcast with my beautiful co-host Brooklyn and her Jordan preschoolers.
No,
and
don't
my
diss.
other co-host Black Mob, who wears the tightest Levi jeans you'll ever see in your life. Thank you. And that is it.
Schmedium. He's wearing a schmedium.